giving you your pat. I can. And this is the story of the album. It takes place in a futuristic apocalypse, in a world similar to our own, but vampires have taken over the government. That's right. I created this vampiric government, and there's more. It gets deeper. There's characters in the government. Okay, but I'm only giving you like the movie synopsis. Okay, so there's vampires who've taken over the government, and slowly they're converting the rest of the world and the rest of that they own and the government that they rule over this planet. There's only one. But what about the other? There's only one government in this planet. It's one universal government run by vampires, and they're slowly taking away. America's ruled by vampire. Very interesting note you have there. Interesting. And they're slowly converting more and more people into vampires. But there's a counter group that has been protesting the vampires, known as the Resistance. In the phrase of the Resistance, they will not erase us. We are all part of the Resistance. And that's it. And there's several characters within the Resistance that you'll see throughout the course of the album, their journey. And that's it. Is that why you got bangs? Absolutely. That's it. That's what I'm saying. This is it. And in the music video, you're gonna see that. Everyone who's coming to Friday, the music video premiere. Sorry, there's more things that happen in the story, but I feel like if I give it like will. Yeah, I mean, that's, I think at one time it's your first time to hear the story. But isn't that cool? I was like, damn, let's build the universe. We're building it together. Okay, so someone says, I'm confused. Hey, that's so fair, Mini TX2. I'll break it down. I have a new album. In my first album, I wanted to do an homage to my favorite albums, The Black Parade and American Idiot. What do both of these albums have in common? They are concept albums, meaning they're one story front to back, a fictional story of sorts, except what does American Idiot have is political commentary as well. So I've decided, what if I created my own political commentary story, which you will see soon, and you'll see everything and make it all make sense. But yeah, that's the story of this album. So the Resistance, they're very interesting to race us. Did you come up with this over the course of years? I've wanted to make this album, and I finally have a chance to. And so wait till you see where this goes. But that is the story of this album. So yeah, that's anyways, that's just the general synopsis. Now let's get into the lyrics. I've been floating in space, yeah, drifting away since I had a taste of her venomous ways. And what on earth could that mean, you might be thinking? Well, when I wrote this, I was thinking about the group of survivors in the Resistance after their first attack. They've been attacked, and they're currently, one of the members is saying this, and he's feeling the effects of becoming a vampire. So what, you might not have known this, but that's part of the story. There's also being hunted down by this giant spider thing that now it gets too complicated, but just know at the same time there's a giant spider hunting them down. So that doesn't really matter that much. But so anyways, I've been floating in space. That's why he's floating. He's like having the effects of the venom sink through his veins, and he's bitten by a vampire. I know I'm next. Whoever said this on Genius, you messed it up. It's I know I'm next, because he's like gonna turn next. Someone says chew on my throat and chew on my neck. Bro, what the fuck? I'm looking at the Genius lyrics. All right, guys, whoever did this Genius lyrics, maybe you can't hear. That's okay, but I'm gonna break down the actual lyrics. So, anyways, so it's flying, blinded, misled like a moth to its death, and that's a metaphor for this character losing their vision, and it's like where is he going? He doesn't know he's losing, etc. Misled like a moth to its death. God, these lyrics are wrong. Genius. Anyways, kiss me and deceive me. I want to be paralyzed. I want to be a victim of your love. So, the thoughts in the head of this character as they are slowly becoming a vampire, except for I use the metaphor of like some sort of like dark sadistic love. When I wrote the song and I showed it to Romy, I explained it to her as this song is about how love is all consuming, but at the same time, it's also about this like group of survivors being hunted by vampires, and then there's a giant spider. But all you have to do is think about the love part. So, so just so you know, this song is also a metaphor Yeah, is that why there's a spider on the cover? That is why there's a spider on the cover. That's why a spider's involved with this, and you'll see a music video too. Anyways, the music video has no goal. Well, the music video has just a small bit of blood. That's it. Anyways, so the chorus is, "I want to feel your fangs, yeah, injected with your poison, submitting to the voices in my head." It's. By the way, this whole song is like Vampire by Rumor again. He did it again. It's a double meaning. So part of it is about love. I want to feel your claws tear, spun a web. Like, I want to feel your fangs, yeah, injected with your poison. It's very similar to Vampire by Rumor there. I was kind of like on the same note. I was like, I bet I could do it again. And I did it again. Another Vampire song. Doing the same thing, but I'm not going to, it's not my job to tell you what that song's about, but it's similar. Just think about those first two lines, know it's a metaphor. But it's also about a character who's turning into a vampire. Like this is a survivor who was bitten, who's slowly turning into a vampire. I'm caught under your influence again, Pete. Now, Romy came into the song and was like, all right, I want to focus more on the love aspect. And she did. She was talking about how love is all consuming. And we originally had a second verse that I'm not actually sure if some of you guys noticed this. When we played Feed originally, we had different lyrics on the verse. And we changed these lyrics with Romy when Romy came in and she wanted to write her verse. And these are Romy's lyrics. She said, "Take me and tear me limb for limb, oh. Let me bleed if it's my life you wanted." I remember while we were writing this, etc., we were talking about how love is all-consuming. I'm consumed by your lust. You're in my bones and my blood. Lost myself to the point of your disease. This also works as the story of characters who are turning into vampires a bit, but it's also like a love, like a love is all-consuming as well. And then we go into the chorus one more time, or pre-chorus, same thing, same lyrics. And then it's just Feed. It's really simple until there's nothing left. So, this song, in short, is a metaphor about how love can be all-consuming and toxic. And it is also about characters turning into vampires in this fictional world who have been bit, and these are survivors. So this is the story of the. Now you know. Now you all know exactly. I was thinking about, dude. I wish artists did this. They break down every word. So this is exactly what I was thinking. This is how the song was written. This is how we did it. We originally wrote the song in winter of last year. Matt Good and I, and then we changed the. Romy came in and changed the verse. And honestly, she added a lot to the song. Why was Corky not in this song? Because Corky didn't write it, but Corky does play it live because, what am I gonna... I wanna feel your things, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna do that. That's so... And I think Corky's a good singer. But, for the people who are like, I wanted Corky, I just don't get it. But you'll still get Corky. Everyone wins. But do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Someone says, what songs are Corky on? Believe it or not, Corky helped with writing Hollow Frame. And there's a few songs on the album that involve Corky. You'll see more. But that's the story of Feed. All right, now I will feed you answers. Get it? Who has questions about Feed? Was the beef real, Taylor? It was not. It was Romy and I have been friends for a long time, and we were just like, how do we make people care and stuff? And that's also why I wasn't directly on the live streams talking about it, because when I'm live and when I'm doing this, I'm being real with you. So, it's the same thing as like if I post, is this the hardest rock song of all time? That doesn't mean it was the hardest rock song of all time. It just means it's fucking social media content. But were her fans bullying you though? Yes, they were. None of you guys bullied Romy too. We were talking about this too. We were like, interesting fan base difference. Because none of you guys. I hope none of you guys went after Romy. But also, if you did, it was part of the plans. So, Evan or Nebula, I wish. I'll give you an answer on that. I wish. What month is the album coming out? Hopefully, end of the year. Questions about vampires. Do the vampires sparkle? No. These are more horror inspired. Vampires. Rooster said, what inspired you to write the song? Rooster, I wrote this song because I wanted to continue my story. The cool thing about like this album is instead of being like, blah blah blah, what am I going? I can just write a story. It was like cool to get into a story. And then also I do feel like love is consuming. I do feel like love, usually ends up becoming toxic. So what are you doing home? I thought you were on tour. I leave for tour in 3 days. That makes me really... I can't even believe that. It's actually like a lot. for me to think about right now. So, is this album more about your life or a fictional answer? The answer is yes. Is Romy in the video? Yes. It's both. It's about politics. It's about the world we live in. It's about my feelings on them, and it's also about its art. It's like, what is the meaning of the Mona Lisa? Who fucking knows? It's just art, man. I hope for each of you guys the song means something different. I hope you all hear this song and you're like, oh, to me this song is about blank. There's no right answer. It's the point of this. I have a question. Are the vampires deadly? Very deadly. They run the government, so they either convert you into vampires or they kill you for resisting vampirism. So there you go. Is the pirate song on the album? It is. It's about the resistance, but it just sounds kind of piratey because they have a vehicle they all travel in. So do the vampires eat glitter glue? No, they don't. Lizzie, I'm glad you're a big fan. That's nice. How do you help people coping when struggling? Are there songs you recommend? I don't know. I mean, I guess the biggest song I wrote for that was a song called 6 Seconds Left. And that song is just a warning. If you jump on, dude, the clever moment, I think, hold on, let me just make sure. Let me just look up something. Damn, they won't even tell me. I think, all right, so the point of 6 Seconds Left is you're going to regret it if you ever try to take your life, and it's the truth. And that song is a warning. And if you listen to that, if you listen to the lyrics, that is the story of regret. And I feel like that's a good point. Every single survivor of suicide, which there are few, regrets it. So just don't be that person. If you know you're going to regret it, why would you do it? Is Vampire by Rumor canon? It could be, but technically no. Every song that releases on the album is canon, except one song that's like canon-ish. There's like one song on the album that is like, it's interesting. It's like my life more than it is canon, but that's it. All right. This isn't a quote about what is your favorite MCR quote. I just like the I am not afraid to keep on living, man. That's how I feel. Every single one of you, thank you guys for joining. Anytime I have a song release, I'll break down the lyrics. Thank you all for listening. Keep blowing up the songs. Keep doing it. Yeah, I mean, we just did 3 live streams. I broke down the lyrics. Know that I'm thankful for you guys, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care, guys.